Let's talk about cruelty today, shall we? Let's talk about the black or white philosophy in the vegan movement today, shall we? Let's talk about a 38-year-old, almost 39-year-old, quote-unquote vegan who thinks it's her right to verbally tear apart people she doesn't even know, and even people she does know because they had a slip-up. Let's talk about her acting like a high school mean girl, even at her age, and using personal attacks to spread the vegan message. Veganism was never about going up to somebody and saying, "Oh, you're pimply because you're not vegan," or "Nobody likes you because you're not vegan." Veganism was never meant to be like that. Veganism is a movement of love, not only for the animals, but for people. And do any of you know who I'm speaking of? I'm sure you do. This person, her name is Leanne Olivia Ratcliffe. And you'll find out who exactly I'm talking about soon enough. This girl makes all-out cruel, nasty videos in order to gain viewers, in order to spread her warped view of the vegan message, and in order to become queen of YouTube. Who gave you the right to be calling yourself queen of YouTube? You're a disgrace. Freelee. Now you know who this lady I'm talking about is Freelee, none other than Freelee the banana girl. She is a liar. She is a fraud. And I speak for myself and many other vegans when I say she doesn't represent us. She espouses none of the values that veganism speaks of. And she's cruel. She says, "I do this for animals. I should be able to verbally abuse people, and it's all for the animals." Did the animals ever tell you what they want? They don't want people like someone like you representing them. They'd rather have someone who's kind and loving and caring and would tell the people, "We love you. We animals love you, humans. Don't eat us. We want to be there for you. We want to be your friend." But you know what Leanne does? She goes on the offensive. Anybody that speaks out against her vile, cruel, nasty way of life, what does she do to them? Verbally attacks them, lies about their personal life, attacks their eating disorder, attacks their weight, gets mad if a non-vegan goes out with a vegan and tells this non-vegan that she's bringing this vegan down. She acts like a 15-year-old bratty, nasty, mean girl. And the reference Mean Girl, do any of you remember that movie Mean Girls that came out about 15 years ago? I think Lindsay Lohan starred in it. And the Mean Girls were just these bitchy popular girls, quote unquote popular girls, who thought they had the right to control everybody because they thought they were hot shit. They thought they were better than everybody else. That's what a mean girl is. And Leanne Ratcliffe, you are a mean girl. You need to step back and think about your past. You call Meredith Foster a bad person because she obviously has an eating disorder and needs to follow her way of eating just till she gets back on her feet. You are not a good person. None of us are good people. We're all flawed. How dare you make assumptions about people? How dare you say she's not mean? How dare you say she's not a good person? You're not a good person. Aren't you the one that said that overweight people stop fit people from getting down the stairs in 9/11 and killed everybody? Was that not you who said that, you stupid bitch? Were you not the one that verbally went after Tess Holiday and she had to block you? And Zoe had to block you because you were just tearing them down. How does anyone expect to want to be vegan with these kind of behaviors? I wouldn't. I'd avoid you like the plague that you are. You act like God's gift to the animals. You are not. The animals are ashamed of you. Trust me. I work with dogs and I work with cats. And they can tell nasty personalities, and they don't want anything to do with someone like you. They'd bark at you, and they'd bite, and they'd scratch and hiss you. Even a cow, one of the most gentle animals in the world, wouldn't want you around her. You say you speak for animals? You speak for yourself and your fake feminism. Yeah, I'm going to call you a fake feminist. You say you stand for women, and you want to stand up and protect women, and you want to do all this stuff. You are a corporate feminist. You are a liar. You're the sellout. Ravana, she has her own issues to deal with. I understand. But calling her a sellout when you sell your high-priced books, your bullshit books, in order to make money. Are you not also doing the same thing? Are you also not lying to your audience? You're not coming clean and you're explaining your alcohol salesperson past as a teenager, or maybe your heroin addictions, or maybe your stripping. Leanne, you are deluded. And I speak for myself and other vegans when I say you do not represent us. You don't represent the vegan movement. You represent your movement, which is attack everybody till you break their resistance down, and then they're too scared not to be vegan. Because Queen Leanne is going to slit their throat and throw them into like whatever pit that she thinks is best. And I mean pit, meaning you destroy their reputations. Whatever happened to the love aspect of veganism? Did you totally forget that? Or are you that desperate to get views that you'll latch yourself onto any big YouTube celebrity you want and verbally tear them down in order to get views? Honestly, it's ridiculous. And I know many vegans here on YouTube that don't tear down YouTubers. They don't make fun of those with eating disorders. They're empathic because they love animals, and so by loving animals, they can love other people. Did you forget about that? Did you forget that you are flawed? Yeah, you are. You have a foul attitude towards life. You think the animals want you to go attack people because you call them murderers and animal abusers and, oppressors. No wonder people don't want to be vegan with people like you around. Get off your high horse, brush your hair, God damn, act like a real feminist and stand up for women, all women, non-vegan and vegan alike. Besides, veganism is a garden. It's about time we started weeding the garden from people like you. All these beautiful flowers are coming out of this beautiful vegan garden, and you're the weed trying to crush them all. You go into other people's gardens and you start taking over their flowers too and killing them and planting your own weeds there. Maybe it's about time we got the pesticide and got rid of you and let these beautiful, kind, caring vegan flowers grow up out of this soil, and they transform the whole garden. You're a pest, and it's about time you saw that. It's about time you stopped acting like the hypocrite you are. And remember, you were once an omnivore. You once enjoyed the taste of meat. You once used things tested on animals and probably wore furs and leather and all the like. Would you have appreciated it if someone called you all these terrible things? If when you were a little bit heavier, someone blamed you for 9/11 and sitting in an airplane seat and whatever? That's cruel. You're never going to bring people over to your side by using personal attacks. So maybe it's about time we personally attacked you and brought up painful memories of your past and judged you on it. How would you feel? Probably shitty, I presume. I know I would if someone said it was all my fault. Aren't you also a high school dropout, Leanne? Yeah. And you want all these girls to drop out of school and do the same. You can be a vegan and be a university-educated person. You can be a vegan and work in a hospital helping to save people's lives. You can be a vegan and be the most amazing musician. You can be a vegan and not only care about animals, but care about people. Obviously, you only care about animals. And in the words of my friend Ashley, or Phoenix as she likes to be called now, who's a vegan, if you're helping animals, if you're only helping animals and not helping people or the planet, then you've lost the reason of you've lost the entirety of veganism. Veganism is a win-win-win for animals, for people, and for the environment. If you take the people and the environment out, you only have one piece of the pie. And really, who wants to give someone a pie with only one piece there? Nobody. Your diet is way too restrictive for many people. At least on a regular vegan diet, you can eat whatever an Omni eats, just made of plants. Have you ever not had an Impossible Burger? Or a Beyond Burger? Or all of these delicious chocolate treats? No, of course not. Because restrictive diets are the only way to go in Leanne's world. Even quote-unquote old raw till forests are becoming normal vegans now. They're eating things like nuts and oils and pastas, and not gluten-free pastas too. Thick, rich, cheesy sauces and seitan and tofu, all these yummy foods that you're too afraid to eat. So I ask you, Leanne, what's your beef here? Do you hate people that are different from you? Do you hate those who are brave enough to stand up and call you on your bullshit? Do you hate non-vegans because you were once a non-vegan and you have some kind of guilt from your past? Or do you hate vegans that stand up and say you don't represent us and you make the whole vegan movement look like a bunch of tyrants? And you really don't represent anybody. You don't represent humanity. You don't represent vegans because your message goes so far from the actual vegan message that nobody can recognize that anymore. And you certainly don't represent the animals who would look at your actions and be totally disgusted. We don't want this bitch representing us. We want someone who's kind and loves people and wants these people to know that we love them just as much. You don't represent anybody. You represent your own selfish interests. You call Ravana the sellout? You're the sellout. You're selling these stupid books. See? I can do the same to you because you obviously do the same to others. So anyway, my rant's almost over. And I just want to say, Leanne, when did you lose your compassion for your fellow humans? Because obviously you've lost it. But in many ways, you've lost it mentally, you've lost it physically and spiritually. You're 38 years old. Give up the stupid mean girl act and grow up.